Okay, let's talk about something pretty wild. What if your body could send you an alert, a warning, before you even felt sick? That's the idea behind a system called Guardian Alpha. It's basically a health early warning system that's always on, spotting trouble before you have a clue.
Seriously, just pause and think about that. What if you could catch an illness before you even start to feel the symptoms? It's a huge deal, right? The power to get ahead of a health problem, not just for you, but maybe for your parents, your kids. That's the big promise we're going to unpack today.
And look, this isn't some sci-fi fantasy. The truth is, every single year, millions of people have these sudden, unexpected health emergencies. And the heartbreaking part, so many of them could have been prevented. It all comes down to what this quote says, timely insight. Getting that warning just a little bit sooner, that's the bullseye this technology is aiming for.
All right, so let's dive into the problem itself. We're calling this section a preventable crisis, because that's exactly what it is. It's all about the danger of waiting too long.
Here's the thing we've all experienced. By the time you actually feel sick enough to make a doctor's appointment, the problem's already been brewing for a while. You've lost time, and it's in that gap, that time between when things start to go wrong and when you notice they're wrong, that things can get really serious.
And we're not talking about just catching a cold. The stakes are, well, they're incredibly high. Waiting too long can lead to long-term health issues, disability, or even loss of life, things that might have been preventable. It just hammers home why we have to flip the script from reacting to a crisis to preventing one in the first place.
But what if we could completely change that? That's where the solution comes in. It's all about learning to listen to your body's early warnings, making that proactive shift.
So, this is the big switch. Instead of waiting around for the obvious signs, the cough, the fever, the pain, the goal is to detect the super subtle, tiny changes in your vital signs, the stuff that your body is doing differently way before you'd ever feel it yourself.
So how in the world does it do that? Well, it all starts with what's called a personalized baseline. And this is key. It's not comparing you to some average person. Nope, this system builds a health profile that is 100% you. It takes your smartwatch data, your medical history, and creates a picture of what your normal looks like. That way, the AI knows instantly when something's even a little bit off.
Okay, so we've got this baseline, but what does the AI actually do with it? Let's walk through how it works step by step. It's actually pretty straightforward.
First, you sync up your wearable, your smartwatch. That's constantly feeding it data. Heart rate, breathing, sleep, all that good stuff. Then, it pulls in your medical history to build out that personalized baseline we just talked about. After that, the AI is just always watching. It's analyzing that data 24/7, looking for tiny little changes. And if it spots something, boom, an alert gets sent. Not just to you, but to your circle of care. It's this complete loop of monitoring and then letting the right people know.
And that circle of care idea, that's a really big piece of the puzzle. This isn't just about your phone buzzing with an alert. It's about creating a whole connected care team. It's about turning numbers on a screen into a real network of people who can help.
This really lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got reactive care. That's the fire alarm going off after the house is already on fire. It's an emergency. On the right, you have proactive monitoring. That's like a smoke detector, quietly beeping, letting you know there's a problem before it turns into a disaster. It's a total game changer, moving from emergency mode to empowered prevention.
So what's the bottom line for you and your family? Well, it's getting those early warnings. It's getting health insights that are actually about you, not some generic person. It's knowing your support system is always in the loop. But really, all of that boils down to one huge thing: peace of mind for you and for the people who love you. Let's talk a little more about this circle of care, because it's so important. The data, the insights, they're not just locked on your phone. If you give permission, they can be shared with your family, your doctor, anyone you choose. It creates this amazing support system where everyone who needs to know knows, and they're all on the same page. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. What's the big picture? Where's this all going? Well, it's all about building a future of prevention.
And the whole mission just clicks when you hear who founded this. It was an emergency room doctor, someone who has seen the absolute worst outcomes from delayed care, day in and day out, and a healthcare tech expert. So you've got this perfect combo of frontline medical experience and the tech know-how to build a solution. That's really the engine behind this whole thing.
And they are not thinking small at all. Their goal is to prevent 1 million health escalations every single year. Just think about that number for a second. 1 million. It really shows you the massive potential impact this kind of tech could have. So all of this leaves us with a really big question, doesn't it? As this kind of technology becomes more and more a part of our lives, is this it? Is constant health monitoring the actual key to living a longer, healthier life? It's a fascinating thought, and honestly, it's a question we're all going to be dealing with probably sooner than we realize.